My name's Andrew Green. Andy, to my colleagues and to my friends. I'm Professor of Marine Geology at the University of KwaZulu-Natal. So what does a marine geologist do? Well, we are interested in what lies beneath the ocean in terms of the geology. So the rocks, the sediments, what makes up the seafloor, and the various layers beneath the seafloor, as well as extending that onto the coast. So, what is the coastal geology? How do coasts form? How do they evolve over time? In particular with things such as changes in sea level and changes in climate. So coastal geomorphology, and that how the coast has evolved over time due to different forcing agents. And those forcing agents would be things like storms or sediment availability, and how those interact to produce particular coastal landforms. So beaches and dunes, the things that you would expect to see when you're going on holiday down to the coast. Coastline is our first form of defense when we have rising sea levels, which we are experiencing due to climate change. Sea levels are predicted to rise quite a bit, at least half a meter in the next 100 or so years. Here in KZN in particular, we sit with a very cool natural laboratory offshore in the Indian Ocean, and of course if we extend this around our entire continental margin, where we have deposits that are produced by things such as large storms, or deposits that are left behind by really fast rising sea levels. Each one of these gives us a fingerprint as to how, say, big storms were, or how big sea level changes were, and what happened when those were occurring. Marine geology, on the other hand, actually forms, and it's becoming more and more of a sort of a mindset amongst South African scientists. It actually forms the cornerstone to most of these other disciplines. It forms the base level in which marine biologists would work. They would look to see how their species distributions occur relative to what's occurring on the seafloor. At the seabed surface, they require particular habitats in which the geology provides that habitat. So one of the most important of these species, it's a fish called the coelacanth. It's a fossil fish. It was long since thought to be extinct. We found it in the 1930s. The coelacanth itself is constrained by geology and geomorphology. It's a type of fish that lives in a very specific habitat. That habitat is shaped by changes in sea level. Usually you find them in large submarine canyons where we've had sea levels at low points that have cut terraces and notches into these canyons. So this fish, you can't understand it without understanding the geology behind it. With marine geology, we use geophysics a lot. So we do work, most of us actually are geophysicists. We do use a lot of geophysics in terms of our general day-to-day work. Professions that we tend to work together with would be guys in, say, mining engineering, geotechnical engineering, oceanography. The way in which water masses behave over the ocean floor is intrinsically linked with the shape of the floor. So we do a lot of work with environmental chemists or environmental geochemists, particularly when we're looking at, say, previous climate reconstructions. Even physicists, so people that look at modeling of how oceans respond to collapsing ice sheets. So where those waters actually go, and what parts of the earth get higher sea levels, what parts don't get so strongly affected. So I am from the north. I was born in Zimbabwe, a landlocked country. I made my way here in this early 1980s, young, about 4 or 5, 4-ish. I'd never seen the ocean until we'd come to South Africa. I was immediately intrigued. I could smell the ocean when we were driving in. It was this amazing smell. I'd never obviously smelt this before. When I first saw the ocean, I thought it was just the most amazing thing ever. I became quite an avid surfer and a bodyboarder for many, many years. It's just that love of the ocean that I think really drove me to take up this career. It wasn't necessarily the career that I wanted to do. I wanted to study English and psychology. My parents were dead set on me doing a degree in some form of professional career. I did geology and geography as an undergraduate, mostly wanting to do meteorology. So this is the very long part. So guys, don't be too set in the things that you have to do. Life isn't all about a single linear line from start to finish. I wanted to be a meteorologist, and this is mostly because I loved surfing, and surfing is completely weather dependent. So I wanted to know when the winds were going to blow in what directions and how this was going to affect the ocean. Society's expectations on people that are so different from what that society is. You guys are young and it's just a different life altogether. Don't let those expectations weigh too heavily on you. Take your time. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You'll get there.